Is there a housing crisis? People are waiting for the market to crash. They really are. It's so funny. Even my friends tell me, "Oh, the market's crashing." Well, you go ahead and wait.
Remember when everybody was saying during COVID that we were going to have another 08?
Yes.
And
here we are, 2025.
Yeah, it's been 5 years, people.
Let that dream die, along with the thought that you had 5 years ago. That is
the economics of why 08 happened are so drastically different than now. That was a literal lender and mortgage issue. Now it's just, we're not in anything right now, so it's like you can't even say anything as to why we would be or wouldn't be in a crisis outside of inventory.
Okay, so now Michigan is experiencing a severe housing shortage with needs. So can we say that there's a housing crisis? I wouldn't call it a crisis per se, but shortage
for sure.
Ranging from 75,000 to 140,000 homes, leading in high cost, low first-time home buyer activity, and difficult for low-income renters. So that's where we're looking at when Trevor was talking about the supply, having, that 6 month supply. Do we have it? No, we don't. I think we're sitting at what, three months of supply. So in all actuality, we would need 6 months. So, builders, hey, we're knocking on your door. What's happening?
So I've got a great stat for you. So we are current nationally, not just in Michigan, because obviously we've already talked about 75,000 to 140,000 of units in shortage in Michigan. But nationally, we're about 4.5 to 4.7 million homes that we're in a deficit. Basically, we need 4.7 new homes built to offset this housing shortage that we have nationally. At the end of the day, there is a national housing shortage. COVID slowed things down for builders to be able to build during that time frame, and then we had another major shortfall of homes built during the Great Recession. So all that's compiling. We have a lot of older homes in the market that are not as serviceable and habitable, or that meet the end consumer's needs and wants. So coupling that plus needing new homes brought to the market, that's creating a shortage. 4.5, 4.7 million home deficit nationally. That is a staggering number.
That's
and
huge.
We are always getting more people wanting to buy, and really less people are trying to sell.
Yeah.
A lot of boomers are staying longer in their homes as opposed to moving.
Even downsizing is costing more than. I have a client personally that wants to downsize, but it's going to cost her so much to downsize. Now, granted, I'm not knocking anybody that can downsize and afford to do it. Go right ahead. But the reality of it is she owns her home, but it's massive. It's so large. She can't, she's by herself now, and it's just too hard to maintain a huge house. So for those baby boomers that are older, especially those that have lost spouses and things of that nature, that comes into play as far as downsizing and needing to downsize. But then you talk about downsizing on 6% interest rate. Now, for those baby boomers, that's still technically low for them. Because in their era, when they were first buying houses, interest rates were at, anywhere from 14 to 17%. So 6%, again, like we're going to keep telling you, that is still low. So for you guys who think that this high, you've been thinking about buying since 2020, and that's why you have no idea what you're talking about. Because historically, 6% is still a low interest rate.
40-year average is 7%. So we're still below.
Yes, 100%. So like I said, my client is like debating on, acquiring a new mortgage, but although the house will be smaller, more manageable, she's like, do I really want to move? How can I decide to keep this house? So, for us, it's not always being able or having to stick a sign in the yard or whatever the case may be. We want to talk to you about your options. Right. So it's not about, we got to sell your house, we want to sell it. We want to think about what are your different options. It's not always to sell. A lot of times, and sometimes when we have this conversation with said sellers, we lay out all the options, and option A, to sell, may not always be the answer. It may be to hold it for a few years, or it may even be to keep it and rent it. And then if you have a house that's paid off, obviously you can go and get another mortgage and be able to afford, and then also qualify said mortgage or said rental income towards your income for your new house. So those are options too to talk about. So if you have something like that in mind and you're thinking about renting, make sure you reach out to us. Leave it in the comments. If you want to rent, put your email in the comments, or if you want to look at, what your options are for other than selling, we can help you through that. Put your email in the comments and we'll reach out to you.
Another reason why we have where we're at shortage wise, because it's such a low first time home buyers are being able to afford to be able to buy, is during '08 there was a lot of private money lenders and borrowers that went in and scooped up all these like really cost effective houses at the time to buy, and now they're holding them basically strong holding them to have appreciation. So that's also a big factor as to why we have a housing shortage nationally, or specifically in Michigan for us. So, and then coupling that with our builder topic that we just talked about, we have rising building costs, and that is
Everything's expensive.
Everything's expensive. You wonder why you're buying a house that's $500 a square foot. It's because of building costs. We have a major and massive labor shortage. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get into the details in a second on what the stats on that is, but you know, and it's not as easy to build. There's so many permitting issues, or not issues, but restrictions that you have to go through, and it benefits the builders go through the same permitting process as they will for a $900,000 house as they do for a $350 first-time home buyer house price point. And logically, they're gonna go through the same permitting process, be able to make way more money for the $900,000 house as they will for the $350,000 house. Mm-hmm. So that's also, where we're at for first-time home buyers being able to buy new construction, or at least getting more homes into the market to help the supply. And then when builders are only building that higher price point, you're slowly raising the inventory, but at a higher price point, which is making it more difficult for buyers to be able to get into that first-time home buyer price point, which continues to trickle up. I think it's like $467,000 is like the average first-time home buyer.
Oh, yeah, I know, it's crazy. I was just talking about that yesterday, about how when I bought my first house, I was like 110, 120.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang. Dang.
Yeah, I didn't lose that much. Yeah.
Playing.
Yeah.
Don't be playing.
And then it sold, I sold it, obviously, and then when it sold again last year from people who bought it from me, which is why you buy real estate and keep it, they sold it for $260,000. Almost threw up.
That's a lot of cheddar.
I sold it for $160 when I left. I bought it for $109 or $105. I sold it for $160, and they sold it for $260 after they bought it from me. So that's $100,000 in a matter of, I think it was only like 4 years. I sold it in 2020. No, I bought my house in 2020, so I sold it in 2021, and they sold it in 2024. So 3 years, $100,000, crazy. And they used it as an Airbnb.
You done screwed up.
Bro, I can't take Trevor serious today. He is hilarious. Make sure you follow him at Trevor_career. You know, oh yeah, that. He likes KW. I like KW too. So yeah, I just have my username.
So we talked about the aging housing market or supply, especially in Metro Detroit. We have a lot of 40s, 50s, and 60s built houses, and albeit those are very serviceable houses if they've been properly updated and maintained, but the ones that haven't been touched in years, isn't as a desirable or inhabitable house. So our supply is continuing to age out.